what we have studied in last class, let's have a discuss. Array optics. Many terminologies we have tested, we have written, we have remembered. So just try to recollect. Source. You know what is source? Types of source. One, two. Luminous, non-luminous. The next, medium. Transparent, translucent, opaque. Then the incident ray hollow on a surface undergoes three phenomena. One, reflection. Two, absorption. Three, transmission. Then go to reflection. There are two types of reflection. One is specular reflection, specular. Another one is diffuse reflection. The next, you came to know what is ray. What is a beam? Types of beams. Today we will study about the reflecting surfaces. here, this is a thin glass sphere and this is a thin glass plate. This side is silver coated, means opaque. तब सब देखि दिबो ओइनार पछपटे मोटपुरी दिया है that is silver coated, there is one coating is given and that acts like opaque. So this is silver coated. So this side means this surface. You see, let's say this is the thin glass plate. So if we will silver coated this side, then no doubt this side will be reflecting surface. And from the side, it appears to be a line. From the side, if you look from the side view of this appears to be a line. But the top view is no doubt either it is rectangle or it is a square. This is the normal. This is the point of incidence. This is the incident ray. And this is the reflected ray. Come to here. This is a sphere made up of thin glass. You just take a section of it. You just cut it up and take a section. You see from this side, the surface, from this side, the surface depressed in. From this side, you can say the surface bulging out, fluid. From this side, you can say the surface bulging out or bulged out. Outer surface is bulging surface, depressed surface, depressed in, bulging out. So the surface which is bulging out is called convex surface. The surface which is depressed in is known as concave surface. So from this side there is a surface, it is called concave surface. From this side there is another surface, you can say this is convex surface. Convex surface bulged out while concave surface depressed in. Okay. Now either of the two sides we have to make one as reflecting surface. So let's say the reflecting surface is the concave surface. You just draw the outline. Don't draw its outer edge. Actually, This is a circle from the side. We are looking from the side, so it appears like an ellipse. But actually it is a circle. And the diameter is called aperture. You shouldn't draw this. You draw this line and you can clearly know that this side is convex surface and this side is concave surface. Another thing, concave surface. You see the surface appears like a cave. Cave means gumpa. The surface appears like a cave. Cave means gumpa. So now my reflecting surface is like a cave. So silver coating must be done on convex side. In this way, you can give the coating. Now, the reflecting surface appears like a cave, so no doubt this is concave and it acts like a mirror. That's why it is called concave mirror. And this is plane mirror. Similarly, you take another part of a spherical mirror. Spherical mirror, what you said before, ବର୍ତ୍ତୁଳ ଦର୍ପଣ. এটা হলো সমতল দর্পণ. এটা হলো ବର୍ତ୍ତୁଳ দর্পণ. তেଣୁ ଗୋଟେ ବୃତ୍ତର ଅଂଶ. So similarly you draw here another part, another section of a sphere, and give the coating in concave side. So you can say very similar looks. You see both the pictures appears to be identical, but there are big differences. Here the outer side, the bulging side is silver coated. Here the depressed side means the concave side is silver coated. That means in this case the concave side is the reflecting surface. In this case the convex side is the reflecting surface. So this mirror you can say is convex mirror. The same mirror can be drawn in this way. Both the mirrors, this one and this one, are same. The difference is, in this case, the object must be should be placed in front of the mirror. That's why the situation of object can be taken here. In this case, this is the reflecting surface, so the object should be placed, should be situated here. In this case, the incident ray from the object strike the reflecting surface in this direction. In this case, the incident ray from the object strike the reflecting surface in this direction. So now you came to know this is plane mirror, this is convex mirror, this is concave mirror, this is also convex mirror. And the same way, in two ways you arrange convex mirror. In also similarly, in two ways you can arrange concave mirror. So this is concave mirror. This is also concave mirror. Here the reflecting surface is towards left. Here the reflecting surface is towards right. This is convex mirror. This is also convex mirror. The reflecting surface is towards left. The reflecting surface is towards right. And this is plane mirror. This is all about reflecting surface. So now you came to know how many types of reflecting surfaces are there. One more important thing I just want to tell you. Let's say this is air. This is air. This is one medium. This is glass. This is oil. This is again air. When a light, a beam of light propagates, So what happens? Earlier I have stated you ମୁଁ କହିଛି ତମକୁ C is equal to lambda by T is equal to lambda into 1 by T is equal to lambda into n, where lambda is the wavelength, n is the frequency. So now here is 3 parameters, 1, 2, 3. This is velocity of light, this is wavelength of the ray, this is the frequency of the ray. And you know what must be the wavelength, what must be the frequency. I have already stated you the wavelength is the velocity of light. Here you can see there are 3 parameters. One is C, or you may say V, another one is lambda, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This is the frequency. Then in particular in this situation, when light propagates through different mediums, what happens? C, velocity of light, it varies. It varies means it can increase. So velocity of the light of the wave of the light ray decreases from its utmost value. Utmost value C is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. We cannot exceed it. We cannot exceed this value. That means we cannot exceed C. So V varies. That means velocity decreases. Varies. Wavelength varies. Frequency remains constant. So frequency remain constant means color of the ray remains constant. Color doesn't change. Red can never be blue, blue can never be yellow, yellow can never be red. That means color of the ray remained constant. So I am writing now here it is C, it is vacuum, it is air. So velocity of the ray is C. Let's say this is C dash. Let's say this is C double dash. This is air. Again it became C. So here you can find this C dash is less than C. Here is also C double dash is less than C. So From the above ray diagram, we conclude that when light propagates through several mediums, the velocity changes, varies, the wavelength varies, specifically the velocity decreases. Why decreases? Because you see the obstruction are very less. So that's why easily the ray can propagate. But in the medium, the particles are there. Let's say this is oil molecules are there. It is glass is made up of certain materials. So obstacles is there. That's why only for the obstruction, the velocity of light decreases. There is no other cause. Only because of obstruction, transparency is less. So the propagated ray goes through several obstructions. That's why velocity decreases. So this is one most important properties of light. So from total discussion, before 2 classes I have taken, we can write what are the properties of light. You just remember, light, before teaching you light, I draw the diagram of sun. So light is coming. Different type of radiations, rays are there. Cosmic ray, gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet ray, visible ray, infrared, microwave, radio wave. Between ultraviolet and infrared, the visible ray is situating, the rays of the visible ray is situating in between ultraviolet and infrared ray. That's why the color begins from violet to red. Because infrared, so close to infrared, the color is red. And the starting is ultraviolet, so close to ultraviolet, the beginning layer is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So clearly we can to know that light is an electromagnetic wave. This is an important point. You might have seen through a magnetic field, if you will switch on a torch, no problem. Light can propagate. Instead of nothing will happen. Similarly in electric field. So you see, light, the ray of light never deviates in electromagnetic field because it is electromagnetic wave. Details of its wave characteristics will be studied in wave optics. You have to wait for that. Then next, this is another most important point. When light passes through several medium, its velocity decreases, changes or varies. I have told you it is situated in between ultraviolet ray and infrared ray. Its wavelength varies from 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Exactly it is 390 nm. To 760 nm. Nm means nanometer. That means it is 390 into 10 to the power minus 90 minus 9 meter. Nano, milli, micro, nano. 10 to the power minus 3, 10 to the power minus 6, 10 to the power minus 9. And this is 760 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. This is the range of the wavelength. You just tell me. Try to think 760 nanometer and this is 390 nanometer. So no doubt this particular wavelength is much greater than the wavelength of 390 into 10 to the minus 9 meter. So, to which color this particular wavelength belongs to? It is red. It is red. It is red. Then this is violet. This is all about the prehistory, the introduction to the chapter array of X. Let's start now. Reflection. Reflection. I have told you in ray optics, light holds 4 basic characters. 1. Reflection. 2. Refraction. 3rd one, dispersion. And the 4th is diffraction. Let's begin with laws of reflection. Laws of reflection. Laws of reflection. Reflection, it is experimentally stated. Reflection holds the most important law which are universally accepted. So, what is the first law? The incident angle is always equal to the reflected angle. This is not the ray, this is the normal. This is the angle of incidence. This is the angle of reflection. So always remember, in case of reflection, the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Second, all the 3 lines These are three lines. Generally the rays are represented in line. So these are three lines. One is normal, another one is incident ray. This is incident ray. And this is a reflected ray. And this is the normal. The third law is the incident ray comma reflected ray and normal to the reflecting surface. This is totally the incident ray. This is reflected ray and this is normal to the reflecting surface. Lie in one plane. Let's say, you just look at here. Let's say this is an incident ray. This is an arrowhead. It gives the direction of the incident ray. Okay. You just imagine it. This is an incident ray, right? This is the normal, right? This is the normal, and this is here. This is the incident ray, this is the normal, this is the reflected ray. The angle between the normal and the incident ray, that is called I, is equal to R. Reflected ray moves away from the reflecting surface, while incident ray strikes or hits the reflecting surface. Let's say this is a plane mirror. Let's say this is a plane mirror. This is a plane mirror. So this will happen. This will happen. So now you just look at the three lines. What you are observing? कौन देखो तो तुम्हें? All the three lines are laying on a vertical plane. You can see. All the three lines are laying on a vertical plane. So now the incident ray hits the surface of the plane mirror in this way and returns back to the same medium in this way. All the three lines can be arranged in a horizontal plane like this. We can also arrange it in a horizontal plane like this. So now you can see also the incident ray propagates, moves and hits or strikes the reflecting surface, the plane mirror, and the reflected ray moves away from the reflecting surface in this direction. You can see all the three lines also laying on a plane. So whatever may be the situation, incident ray, reflected ray and the normal lie in one plane. This is the second law of reflection, and this is the first law of reflection. Now, question may arise. Let's say here is a plane mirror. The inner surface is silver coated. The inner surface is opaque. This is a thin film of glass. This is the normal. A ray strikes the surface perpendicular. A ray hits or strikes the plane of the reflecting surface making 90 degree or perpendicular to the plane of the surface. Then what happened? We know I is equal to R. So think for a while. This is the normal and this is also the incident ray. This is the normal, this is normal. The same line represents incident ray. Which means normal and incident ray coincides. That means angle I is equal to 0 degree. But according to the first law of reflection, because there are two laws, according to the first law of reflection, I is equal to R. So no doubt, angle of reflection will be 0 degree. Then what happened? In the same direction, the reflected ray returns back to the same medium from the surface of the plane, mirror. So don't be disappointed. Always light never hits the surface making certain angle with the normal. The light may directly hit, or the light may hit the surface making certain angle. But whatever may be the angle, the incident angle, the reflected angle will be equals to the incident angle. Means if it is 30 degree, then R will be 30 degree. If angle I is 30 degree, then angle R is 30 degree. Here angle I is 0 degree, angle of incidence is 0 degree, and angle of reflection is also 0 degree. In every cases, you will face a little problem while justifying angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection in case of concave mirror and convex mirror. Let's draw the diagram. This is the concave surface. It appears like cave. Let's say this is a concave mirror. Means the concave surface is the reflecting surface. While you are studying parabola, the center usually said as vertex. The point is the vertex. It is to be said pole of the mirror. In geometry, you may say it is vertex. But in ray optics, we will tell it as pole of the mirror. Let's say a ray hits directly to the pole of the mirror. Then the ray moves like this, propagates like this, hits the surface and returns back in the same way. How it is possible? You draw a tangent here. You can see here the case happened similar to this case. What happened here? The same thing happened here. This is 90 degree. No doubt this is the normal. No doubt the incident ray propagates along the normal and reflects back in the same direction. So here no doubt I is equal to 0 degree, R is equal to 0 degree. Okay. Here, an incident ray fall on the surface at this particular point. That means, I mean to say, this is the point of incidence. In that case, it was the point of incidence. Here, it is the point of incidence. So now draw a tangent. You know what is tangent? Sparshaka. Draw the normal. This is N. This is the normal. You take the small section. You take a small section. You take a small section. For your understanding, you take a small section. Don't take the whole mirror when you are focusing this point of incidence. From the small part, from the small section of the mirror, you can easily derive, calculate, evaluate how much is the reflected angle. No doubt, this is the angle of incidence, because this is the reflected incident ray. So, the same angle to be drawn here. This is the angle of reflection. Angle of incident must be equal with the angle of reflection. So now, you trace the reflected ray. So from the figure, here and here, both the cases are solved. This case and this case. First case is solved here. Second case is solved here. So whatever may be, it may be a concave mirror, it may be a convex mirror, everywhere, in every case of spherical mirror or plane mirror, I must be equal with R. Okay? All the best.